Next, this is where you get to try your hands on some of what we've learned within aggregate functions. The first task is to print the total count of the book. So just to print out the total numbers of books we have within our books table. Next, print out how many books were released in each year. So we have two columns. The first column would print out the total number of books that was released in each year. And you have to use an alias for the name of the book. So the number of books, sorry, you have to use the alias as you see here. And then the next column would be the year released. Next, print out the total numbers of available copies of all books. So we know that within our books table, there are, each book has an X amount of available copies. So it could be 50, it could be 100. So what's the total sum of all of the books, of all of the available copies within the books table? Next, you will print out the author's first name, the author's last name, and the average released year of their book. So we know that most of our authors only have one book, so it's really just going to print out that number or the year that book was released. But we also know some of our authors do have multiple books that were released at different times, so that would print out the average of those released years. And we have to use an alias for the released year. Next, you print out this table. The first column shows a list of all of our countries. The next column prints out the highest purchase within each country. So for instance, in Germany, what was the highest purchased price? The transaction that had the highest price, and we print that out for all of our countries. The next column is to print out the lowest purchase for all the countries. The next column will be to print out the average amount spent for all the individual countries. And then next we print out the total amount spent for all the countries. And then we want to print out the number of transactions that makes up all those individual transactions within each countries. Next, we'll want to find the total number of transactions, the total amount spent by customers, but only customers in Germany. So just the customers in Germany. And finally, let's try to print out, so we'll do two subqueries. The first would be to print out the customer with the lowest purchase price. But then we want to see the customer's name and the amount, and what you'll be using here is a subquery. Second, we want to print out the customers, and we want the names of the customers and the amount of customers that has purchased over $2,000 or over 2,000, in which the total amount of their transaction is over 2,000. So try your hands on this, and in the next video we'll work on it together.